top flying slayers of Carnage and Absenz and Dyslexic, and that's what it's going to come down to. And it's a very close quarters fight. I love that shotgun fight over at you. I love the over the cover the fight too. A lot of other fights in Gears Esports you see just get decided by an up A reaction shot, but on that over the cover fight, a lot of the times it's the pop shots that win the people the fight. So we're on board with INZEM right off the bat, and it is INZEM versus Absenz.
Yeah, and this is going to be a battle that's going to be taking place nonstop, right? We talked about how good Absenz is playing, quickly rising up in the scene. INZEM, though, that roster or that player that you said raw talent, but still needs to kind of be honed in. But from the start, man, I got to say I'm impressed. RushieZ is looking good. BGod, though, hits one nice chunk, gets a beautiful spread on the other, but it's not enough. Shockwqve last up. He's just going to try and just stay alive as long as he can, but he's going to be pressured by 2 players.
I mean, the objective play here from Carnage to start off, we talked about how they're not too smart, but they lose a lot of their numbers, but they're still in such a great spot here. Only hill right now that isn't capped is the home hill of Carnage.
Exactly right. But see, this is the thing that Carnage does well is their retakes, but I mean, man, RushieZ is just playing so well, but Feint will pick up 2. I thought for sure INZEM was going to get the chunk on the second, but he doesn't. Sometimes the hardest shot to hit is the one where your player or your enemy isn't looking at you. Now Fran is going to be in that 1v1 versus BGod. He'll want to back off, but now straight into Absenz. So he's got to space this out properly, and he goes down. Carnage is going for the triple cap. Can player get there? Icy gets chunked, and Carnage takes it.
Yeah, honestly, that last engagement with INZEM and Rush, that was a huge mishap. INZEM gets 1 kill. He has a flank on another one. That player misrolls into him, and he ends up getting taken out, which made him and Rush die, and they weren't going to spawn for a 3rd time, so that was the end of the round right there. Yeah, good on Carnage, man. They lose the initial technically, but they're able to capture the neutral hill. They're able to capture the home hill of RushieZ, and RushieZ is able to push through and overextend to stay alive, but that's Carnage taking first blood here, going up 1-0 on training grounds. Keep in mind, folks, this is the finals, last matchup of the night. RushieZ versus Carnage, both of these teams yet to win an Emergence Day in recent history.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an interesting matchup, but so far Carnage looking pretty strong. Looking smarter than we gave them credit for, too. They played the objectives on that round so well.
They did. They absolutely did. And maybe, I guess, not smart wasn't the right thing to say. But, I mean, you know, I was just kind of comparing them to RushieZ overall in terms of, like, you know, the genius, which is, in fact, Fran. Look at Absenz, though. So smart. Bot walking up to 1. That's going to be Icy. He had no idea he was there. Granted, though, RushieZ is still going to get more value out of that Absenz if BGod will fall.
Ooh, but nice kill coming up from the 16-year-old and Dyslexic. Now he's taking another 1v1. He is going to get crossed out. Now it's up to INZEM to play defensively. He does a good job on that. So Rush and INZEM, the duo this round, doing a very good job getting kills, overextending. Rush going to use a smoke grenade to help get this cap. He's going to push through. This is a good push. Catching Absenz with a Lancer out. Absenz under the impression that Rush wouldn't push that. That's the last mistake he made.
Absenz already down to 1 out of 4. Now he's got to really consider here, is it worth it getting back into the fight? There are 3 members for Carnage still there, and Absenz will commit. So, you know, RushieZ first round, hey, they kind of got away with it because of the round being so short, the domination coming into effect. But Absenz committing as much as he is, he's got to make a couple of decisions, right? He really can't push up here. He's got to kind of hang back, be that overhang player, kind of be the eyes of God, if you will, and just Lancer out. But him getting out of the fight, not able to get up there and get those close chunks is not going to benefit Carnage at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a very good spot right now to just lay out some support fire. And it is going to be RushieZ, though, in this setup, getting the kills. Fran staying alive there is huge. Now it's going to be Fran getting a nice shot over to Dyslexic. Not able to get the trade is RushieZ. This is looking like it might be a successful retake for Carnage. Feint is actually going to melee his teammate down and get the revive. I actually created that move, but we don't have to talk about that.
Did you really?
They're going to get Lancered out. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a play to get your teammate back to full health instead of waiting for him to heal normally. But it doesn't actually work out in Carnage's favor as RushieZ continues to get the kills. Carnage doesn't spawn up, and RushieZ ties it up 1-1.
A lot of people, man, I don't think they forget, but you know, Ribs, you were that guy. You still are that guy. You know,
Innovator.
like your impact
man.
in Gears. Your impact in Gears is like tremendous. That's why I'm telling you, it's good to cast with you. You know, you kind of hard on yourself, say, oh, you know, this and that. No, like getting that insight is awesome. By the way, do have the poll has ended. Thank you for production for sending that out. Carnage Gaming wins it 66%, 91 votes saying, hey, Carnage Gaming's going to take it. Hey, I will say this, 66%, it's a W, but it's still not a passing grade. So a lot of people are still backing RushieZ here.
Yeah, and I mean, yesterday the polls were very similar when it came down to in the Pro League match. I remember seeing in the chat, Carnage was favored there as well. So, I mean, and Carnage did win yesterday. That was a huge win against RushieZ. It's a close match, game 3. But yeah, this is a new match. Different maps. We're seeing training grounds this time instead of reactor. The other 2 maps being the same. Onto this initial, though. So far, it's been all RushieZ when it comes to this U fight. Even the first round that they lost, they won this U fight. And Absenz, look at that. He's their player that's struggling the most, and he's also their front spawn player. And you can already see him playing a little bit more passively.
You have Shockwqve versus Avexys. Avexys will clean him up, take the victory. BGod also gets chunked by Fran. So now RushieZ, oh yeah, that's a very quick round. And like I said, that 1v1 between Shockwqve and Avexys, he takes that fight. 26 seconds, almost a record. I think, I want to say 23, 22? Something like that is the record on training grounds. I'm not too certain on that. I know no one really keeps records written down, but still an impressive round for RushieZ. And now they lead the way. So, you know, they fell a bit short on round number 1, but they've already recovered. Good on them.
Yeah, and I mean they're gonna continue to put their utility grenades. Both teams actually matched right now when it comes to the weapons. This is very common, but sooner or later we might see the drop fight over at the U. Yeah, that was a very fast round. And that was round 3 where the respawns aren't that long, but all 5 members of Carnage got wiped pretty much at the same time. It's looking like a switch up on strategy there. That's INZEM usually going towards the U fight, is coming towards the B hill. For whatever reason, Carnage did the same thing, so both teams going for a trick strat at the same time. They meet each other halfway, and Carnage comes out on top.
All right, and Carnage too has an opportunity to pinch. It's a matter, it's going to be a matter of who wins these top fights on you, right? Because you got Icy fighting against Dsylexic. Dsylexic does fall, so but he's going to get be picked back up. Icy's still the pressure on, and the reason why I'm focused here is because if that fight on B is one, which it looks like it might be, you're going to have Carnage who's now going to be kind of collapsing down onto the home hill of RushieZ. So RushieZ has to be careful here. They've got a couple of critical fights to win, but for Icy, he's going to be pinched off, double teamed and taken down. Now you've got Avexys who's also going to be pushing into the mix, and Dyslexic takes us. So now the pressure on the home hill is there. But Carnage still needs to push through with those 3 players through B. They're not going to, so they're going to take their time, and that's fine too, right? Set up defensively, you've got a decent lead, and allow RushieZ to kind of push up and make a mistake.
Yeah, I like that play. They're exhibiting discipline right there, which is something that you want to see out of a young team like Carnage. Don't push every single fight just because you know you might be able to win it, you know? Take the right fights. And Carnage is going to continue to retreat. There's no reason to really hold that U area. But it looks like Avexys is going to push straight through, and it doesn't. There's nobody anchoring that home hill for Carnage. And that's a lack of rotations right there coming from Carnage, and that's going to help RushieZ get back into this round. But maybe not a lack of rotation. I think they're counter pushing. They're going to flip the map. They're going to overextend back instead of trying to play defense. And yeah, Shockwqve now on the home hill of RushieZ. This is actually a very good rotation. Sorry, Carnage, I didn't see it. But I see what you did now. You gave up your home hill to push across the map. I like that play. I like flipping the map to play.
And now you have a mismatch. Player 3 is going to run through 8, and BGod now is going to be challenging onto Icy, who's getting Lancer from all angles. He's going to drop. So the benefit for RushieZ is you got player 6 who did hop on the home hill, and player 9 as well. So RushieZ will, in fact, gain some control in the overall objective, but already you've got Absenz and BGod. It's going to be lancering down RushieZ. He'll be finished off, and just like that, Carnage is going to retake the neutral and retake, or excuse me, stay in the lead. They already had the win condition regardless, so now they win in just 25 seconds.
Carnage looking very good right here in the last round of the first half. RushieZ will continue to use their respawns as they will get a new set of respawns next round. They're running out of time. Avexys is going to be able to get the decap here. Now, Cog Team, Carnage wins in 15 seconds. INZEM going for this overextension. He gets outpaid by Dyslexic. Now it's up to Fran. Old versus the young. He gets actually headshotted. I don't know how Dyslexic just got a headshot there, but I could imagine he did some crazy 180 type reaction shot.
Oof.
And that's going to be Carnage tying it up 2-2. That was actually a flawlessly played round from the beginning to the end by Carnage. Very well played. They even caught me off guard with that overextension. Sometimes offense is the best defense in Gears Esports. Instead of defending their home hill, they just pushed across the map, and I really, really like that.
Yeah, good on them for doing that. And like you said, offense, best defense. So many times teams will just kind of, bunker up, if you will, and just allow the enemy team to push them. And then they kind of, basically focus on, not it being a mismatch, but just kind of going head to head. So in that case, Carnage Gaming felt confident to push through, and it kind of put RushieZ as like, man, what's going on? We got to rotate out Drop shot now down. Okay, so RushieZ ends up placing this. It's no surprise. They kind of like the fight for drop. I like the fact that it's not in hell. We're gonna have that fight now for the neutral and the drop. So it's gonna make it important. Let's not forget, RushieZ was dominating this fight earlier in their matchup. So versus Apricity. So maybe that's why they ended up placing it there, feeling confident.
Yeah, and Rush is going to get first blood here. Long spawn, respawn round. Fran actually on the flank kills Dsylexic. That's a huge kill, taking out the main Slayer for Carnage. Rush gets caught off guard by BGod, though. Plenty of kills coming out for both teams. So it is going to be RushieZ right now, taking out 4 members of Carnage. Last one alive was Feint. Shockwqve able to spawn already. Now threatening the 3-cap is going to be RushieZ. If somebody gets on their own home hill, it is going to be number 9. RushieZ getting that cap now. I believe BGod has just enough time to get to the hill, but he needs to get in the hill, stay in the hill. He's not going to be able to do it. And a very, very clean round coming out from RushieZ.
And we kind of, saw that happening, right? Whenever the initial went to the way of RushieZ, as it did, 2 players, kind of spawned up by default because it just took a little bit longer. But for the most part, like you said, great job from RushieZ. And again, going back to semifinals versus Apricity, drop shot was down. Well, it was down low, but even before it was down low, remember when they would go head to head in that fight up top, like they were still winning it consistently. So it makes sense. They feel so confident in that fight. It's going to be a tough win for the boys on Carnage Gaming, but because the drop shot was placed by RushieZ, Carnage Gaming is going to have a little bit of an advantage. They get the half on their shot for this round. So we'll see how much of an effect that's going to have.
Yeah, I mean, that takes place on the 2nd or 3rd engagement, but most importantly right now, both teams sending all 5 members towards this side of the map. It's going to be a bloodbath, Taylor. Nice stun grenade thrown from the IGL of RushieZ, but he does get taken down. Look at the kill feed. A couple more kills come out in favor of RushieZ. Now only 2 members alive for Carnage, Shockwqve and BGod. BGod in a very tough spot. RushieZ going to actually use the drop shot there. I don't mind that play too much. Secure the kill. Meanwhile, Shockwqve does get a kill on Avexys. He gets traded out. And that's another initial in the favor of RushieZ.
Yeah, and this initial is going to continue to take place over and over and over again unless Carnage Gaming disables the drop, which I don't foresee them doing. So this is a very worrisome thing for Carnage Gaming. If they lose this, they're down 4-2, and that fight isn't going to change. So Carnage has to quickly find an audible. They have to find a way to navigate this fight. It's going to take place off the initial. It's going to take place in the mid game and late game if we get that far. But for Carnage Gaming, maybe they will. But for Absenz, at least right now, his run will fall a bit short.
And Icy in a tough spot right here. 3 members pushing him. He actually cuts back, gets it down, gets a chunk. Love to see that, man. Gears is not the type of esport where you run away. You fight until you die. Okay, all right, no point in running away, especially in a position like that. A nice little choke point. So the trades come out. In the end, RushieZ still in control of this neutral hill. Avexys gonna play forward with his shotgun here. Gets stunned by that. Gonna have to retreat. Rush gets taken out on the wide part of the U. So finally, it looks like Carnage is going to be able to retake this neutral hill, and in time for the new drop shot that'll be spawning in less than a minute.
3 strong though onto F, so RushieZ is going to prioritize getting this double home hill setup. Carnage is going to go ahead and rotate down 2 in order to kind of battle against it. So it's not a mismatch, it is a 3v3. Fran's going to be at the forefront trying to pick up a couple of the Carnage players off. You do have 6 though who's going to be on the flank. I think he's going to be spotted by player 2, but no worries, Fran will pick up 1. Carnage though getting a break in, Feint is there. Lancer fire is real from the neutral. That's going to be coming from player 8 across the way. So RushieZ, the pressure is still on, and Carnage Gaming cannot gain a foothold here.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job, though. Look at Feint and BGod still alive. They picked up that kill on INZEM in the spawn. Drop shot actually spawns within the next 10 seconds. RushieZ is getting beat up for the most part. BGod not only gets that kill, he gets away. And RushieZ is going to concede the round off of some great plays by Carnage. They tie it up 3-3, Taylor, and this is a very close map number 1 here. The finals, Training Grounds. I mean, we said this map favors RushieZ somewhat, but this is Carnage, one of our elite level teams. They just took out Pittsburgh Knights, and they have what it takes here to take this Training Grounds as well.
Again, if they win Training Grounds, it's going to be incredibly telling. For Carnage Gaming, though, to lose that initial and be as far down as they were, to be looking at a wall of RushieZ members pushing them and still win that fight, that was impressive any way you cut it. So, Carnage Gaming, again, it's going to be really hard for them off the start. This is where they've been struggling. Dyslexic, though, 12-7. The opportunity's there. On the other end, though, midway, you've got Avexys, who's 13-8. So let's see how this pays out, because if Carnage Gaming can win this initial, I think RushieZ might be in a little bit more trouble than before. Respawns are just fine, though, so they can continue going head-to-head if they want. But who's going to be the first one to reach round number 4? Well-placed Shock. A couple members from RushieZ will drop, but the pickups are going to be there, of course. BGod tries to get the quick pick. He's going to lose his life. Dyslexic on Shockwqve in a big fight on you. He's got to stay up.
Shockwqve died right there. The round was over. And it still might be over. Okay, Absenz spawned up, but Shockwqve winning that 1v1 versus Fran actually kept his team in the round. We saw RushieZ win the initial last round and still lose the round, but this initial was even more clean. They didn't have to use any of their drop shots or anything. So RushieZ now in a very favorable position. RushieZ has the drop shot, and he's actually going to use it from high ground. This isn't very common, but he is going to pick up that kill on Shockwqve. BGod actually got hurt by that drop, and Rush is going to use it. Doesn't get either of the 2 kills. That was actually a well-placed drop, but I think it got caught on that ledge. Lucky break there from Carnage, because honestly, I think that should have been a double kill. And now RushieZ using all of their drop shots only to get 1 kill. Carnage still has a position here to retake this neutral hill and somehow steal the round.
And they're going for it, but they kind of worry about that player who's going to be just to the left. He's been spotted. That's Avexys. If he gets 1 here, that's still a victory, but Shockwqve picks him up. That's huge. Now, they have free reign to push through the choke point and to now pressure in onto INZEM. He's going to be the first one. Fate's going to hit a nice spread, get the finish as well. Now, I love this wolf packing from Carnage. You've got 3 members, excuse me, now Fran and Icy were the only ones up from that fight. You've got Avexys who just respawned back in, but Carnage takes the objective.
Yeah, I mean, that's a successful retake there. I mean, it all starts with Avexys. If you're able to take Avexys off of that first right-hand cover, left-hand cover, whatever it is, it's a huge choke point. Once you kill Avexys, that's the first line of defense. Nobody really else is close enough for RushieZ to get kills. So now Carnage getting 5 out of the last 5 kills. Really not much resources for RushieZ here, but they have about 10 seconds to make this push over at the E-Hill, or Carnage is going to get the second drop shot.
The second drop shot could be devastating. Who knows the implications? After all, RushieZ had a very decent lead, and now they don't, right? So let's see how this works out. That shock is there, like you said, right? So that's going to cut off the angle for RushieZ to push in. Dyslexic, or excuse me, Faint gets to pick up. I'm using it here. I'm trying to at least take out 1 or 2. Why not? But he holds on to it. That's fine, too.
Want to get the active first. The active helps secure the kill. Because Avexys, all right, now Avexys can't dodge it because of the active. If that was a non-active, Avexys would have been fine. So use of the drop shot there. Now on board with Absenz. Absenz actually doing a good job there. He picks up the kills. He trades the downs. Absenz are still alive. I think Carnage might be able to take their first lead of the match here. Or no, they were up 1-0, so it would be their second lead, but it would be the first time taking the lead since that first round. I don't think RushieZ is going to invest.
Lead.
Yeah,
this is going to be more impactful. Yeah, and they got to give it up. Fran being on 1 lives, 1 out of 4. And this round being so hard, because this thing, if they commit 1 more and they don't take any heal and they just lose their lives, like it was all for what? You know, you don't want to put yourself in a bad position. So, okay, Carnage Gaming put themselves up, so good on them. And I don't think the Sables have been used, if I'm not mistaken. So now I guess that comes into question. I'm very curious what RushieZ decides to do here.
Yeah, I mean, the issue I have right now as an analyst and just, you know, breaking it down, RushieZ wins these initials. And their drop shot usage hasn't been good enough to hold off this push from Carnage. And then even once they lose the drop shots, they still have a full setup, a setup that they practice time and time again, and Carnage is just running right through it. So, I mean, the shotguns of Carnage, the aggression is just breaking straight through the fortifications of RushieZ. It's very impressive to see the way Carnage has been retaking this neutral hill.
Their retakes are always impressive, though. You know, you watch them consistently. It's kind of like VQ. VQ and Carnage have beautiful retakes, and that's what makes them strong. And again, it's that slaying power that comes into effect. They just can push through and feel so confident. They don't really hesitate like some teams would normally do. Or Dyslexic, though. Big pickups. I see INZEM will fall to the wayside. And you got a couple more RushieZ members going through that choke point. Faint goes in for the cleanup onto 1. And you are going to have a member from RushieZ who does get away. I can't believe RushieZ actually gets the quick pick and gets out of there despite Carnage actually winning that in terms of fights.
It looks like RushieZ going to use the drop shot, secure that kill, and somehow RushieZ wins this initial. This is a bloody one, though. So far, it's actually not over yet. BGod's in a position here to try to make a play. Him and Absenz are going to set up on the overlook. Rush still has 1 more drop shot, and I believe he's going to pop an active and just get the first kill that he sees. But RushieZ has the ability to play patient here. Good job on Rush covering that middle lane, making sure his team doesn't get flanked. These are big kills coming out on the home hill of RushieZ. They're holding off an overextension. INZEM gets one kill. Shockwqve barely gets away with his life, but it's going to be Absenz getting taken out over by the E hill. Shots coming out from Dyslexic, but he's going to get outnumbered, and RushieZ is winning these team fights.
Now, so at this point, Ribs, I mean, you're Carnage. You got Absenz, BGod so low. Do you respawn back in? I guess the answer is yes. They're going for it. And I guess they do so because they know Fran's on his last life. So now the opportunity is very real to bring it to a 5v4. It's still very early, though. So this is the thing. Carnage is going for it. They really are. But if they don't win this round, they're going to be hurting. But a couple of big kills, that's impressive. INZEM and INZEM will fall off. They have respawns to give, though, but INZEM is getting closer to his last life. So this is going to come down to respawn economy, if I had to guess, on both ends.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame Carnage for spawning in. They've been winning these last few rounds on these mid-round engagements. They haven't been winning the rounds early. They've been winning the rounds late. So if I'm them, I do have the confidence. But yeah, one more team wipe from Carnage, and they have to concede the round. It would be the only smart play that they can make. This time it's going to be RushieZ holding this close quarters engagement. He's able to get it down and a kill. Not a bad trade on the side of RushieZ. Now it's going to be Feint trying to push across the overlook. He's going to double back. Meanwhile, Shockwqve gets a kill on Icy, and that is big, especially if he can get the revive on Feint. Both members of Carnage right there are very weak. RushieZ is going to have to try to take advantage. It's going to be INZEM getting the kill. Is that someone flanking? No, that's all members of RushieZ.
Dyslexic got back into it, by the way. They're in it on their last life. They are committing everything here. This is the round for them to take. Absenz on last life, too. They're committing it all, and they're down about 40 or so points, but the benefit is it looks as if they're going to get the drop shot. BGod should get picked up here. Fran, I know, is going to be applying that pressure, but Fran is the only one on his last life. So this is going to be a tricky one for Carnage to take, even though they do gain some control of the map. It doesn't mean they're going to be comfortable. And Absenz is gone too, so let's not forget that.
Yeah, Absenz is out for good, but this round is still up for grabs from either team. Fran, the player he is, he's not going to put himself in a position to get killed, but a drop shot can pick you off from pretty much anywhere if they find out where he is. But yeah, the respawn economy up for sure in the favor of RushieZ, considering the fact that one member is already out for good. Rush, he doesn't mind dying there. He can spawn up. He still has 2 more spawns to give, so he probably is going to spawn up and run in there again. RushieZ doesn't have much time here, though, Taylor. They're going to have to make a play soon, and they don't really need much. They just need a break here and there.
Yeah. And it's this overextension, though.
Yeah, that's big. INZEM gets that break. He stays alive. He gets down, though. Can the trade come out? Icy gets the melee. When in doubt, press the B button, Taylor. Gets the melee, gets the meat shield, stays alive. Now it's Fran on his last life. Taking the early damage, but Icy comes in with the trade.
Oh, that's big.
Kills Icy. Icy can spawn still.
Okay, so
RushieZ is in a good spot here.
Shockwqve needs his pickup. He's got to take down Fran here. In fact, the break onto E needs to happen, which it is taking place. The break onto E is there. Is it going to be in enough time, though? I think he gives him the win condition. It's not. Oh. So the break on D has to happen. Yes. 5 has to go big. This is Dyslexic.
He is going to be able to get a break here. But look, the E is already being capped. RushieZ is going to win this round, and you said it. Carnage put themselves in a tough spot here. I mean, but if you look at it, both
so RushieZ too.
Both teams invested so much in these last few rounds, and what an even matchup this has been so far, Taylor. So round number 9, both teams barely with any respawns. This is going to be a bloodbath, man.
So this is the thing, though. You know, I think you have to benefit RushieZ in this initial, though, because they've been so consistent with taking the initial. They have been falling apart in mid and late game, but at least for the initial, they pretty much win that consistently, and they have been. So if I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the respawn economy, RushieZ just needs to do what they've continued to do before, and that's just win a strong initial. Even if they, you know, check this out. Even if they take down 3 or 4 players, it's going to hurt Carnage to the point where it's not going to be, they're not going to be able to come back from that. So this is going to mean everything. This initial is literally going to mean the difference between a W or an L.
Yeah, for either team, man. I mean,
for either team.
A lot of these players, if they die once, they're going to be respawning for the last time of the map. This initial is everything. Both teams sending all 5 members towards this U fight. It looks like the front spawn for Carnage actually went up top. So there's a little bit of difference in strategy here. RushieZ is going to get control of the U, but Carnage is going to be able to pick up a kill on Fran over at the Overlook. The flank is going to come out from Carnage very soon, and here it comes. It's going to be up to RushieZ to stop it. He gets 1 kill. It's now a 3v3 on the map. Rush is having help from INZEM, a 1v1 going on from Dsylexic and Icy. Look at all 3 members of RushieZ try to swarm on to Dsylexic, but Dsylexic with the reposition gets the down, gets the chunk. It's up to Icy now. He gets 1 kill down. No, it's going to be Carnage winning that initial engagement, and that is huge, Taylor.
Yeah, that is beyond massive. So Carnage Gaming has put themselves in a winnable position. Absenz also gets the instant. And normally an instant, okay, you know, it's impressive with that instant kill potential. He connects onto anybody besides RushieZ. Hey, it's an instant 5vx situation. And Rise knows this. Drop shot in the hand of Shockwqve, and he's just going to hold on to it. So now RibbZ has a very difficult decision to make. How do they push? How do they even go about this? There's so much instant kill potential, and I do see the instant has been used. Doesn't connect.
FraNChiS
gone. 5v4.
So yeah, I mean, we said it. That initial was everything, and I mean, Carnage had only one initial going into that round number 9. I believe they've literally lost like 6 or 7 out of the 8 rounds prior to this. They picked a good time to win an initial, and honestly, it was a great play from Dyslexic there, repositioning once he saw that 3 members of RushieZ try to push him. Now it's going to be Shockwqve's. If he gets another drop shot kill here, you know, it looks like he's going to use it on Icy. And he gets the cross-map kill on Icy, and that's that active drop, Taylor. Even across the map, Icy didn't have enough time to dodge it. And Carnage is going to take this first map. There's just no way that RushieZ wins this. Who's even left? It's Rush. Rush is the only person on the map on his team alive. And that's it. Carnage clutches up this first map. And you said Carnage was going to win tonight against RushieZ and win their first Emergence day. It was going to be in a 2-0 fashion. Them winning that training grounds is huge. Absolutely huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything.
Bunker is still up for grabs. I think RushieZ is a very strong Bunker team. I think us losing Bunker yesterday wasn't really a good telltale how good we are on that map. But yeah, that's great composure coming out from Carnage. Very, very clutch ending to that map.
100%. You know, for them to win that is impressive because, you know, they had been losing their initials constantly, and you kind of called it out perfectly, RibbZ. Off of that initial in round number 9, their front spawn went up top. He did not challenge down low like he had been doing time and time again, and that's why they were losing. Well, maybe not why they were losing the initial, but if it's broke, fix it, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. In this case, it was broke. So what did they do? They said, let's change it up round number 9. Let's throw a wrench in their setup. And then you seen those 3 RushieZ members. They got caught over in the corner down low, and then one by one, they were picked off. So making that small adjustment, hey, I don't know if it was the biggest impact, but it at least had enough of an impact to result in a good initial for Carnage and for them to knock 4 out of the 5 members of RushieZ on their last life.
And no, it was a nice audible. I mean, it's not the biggest curveball of all time. I mean, that's a strategy that a lot of teams do. If they're not running the typical U fight, they go up top. More so of the strategy, I would say it was really just their execution. This last play by Dyslexic right here to reposition, get behind, down RushieZ, chunk INZEM over cover. That was actually the map-winning play, if you ask me. Even though he gets downed, his team swarms in. The damage is already done. Great drop shots from Shockwqve. Long-range drop shot right there. Instead of going for the down kill, he takes out Icy. Plays like that help Carnage win that first map, and it might help them get their first Emergence Day Championship.
Absolutely might do just that. And look, you know, Bunker, it's going to be hard. You look at the map, though. I mean, it was really, really back and forth. There was a lot of rounds, though, that came down to just strict enemy team eliminations, and especially in rounds 2 and 3, that's because of those dominant initials from RushieZ. And 6 and 7, though, for Carnage, it was much the same. Or they had to just give it up in general, just kind of maintain. Round 8, though, was a deciding factor, I think, because of the fact both teams committed so much that when we went to round 9, it wasn't necessarily really about outplaying the enemy team or just, you know, strategy-wise. It was just about get in there, hit your shots, get those kills. That is what round 9 came down to, and Carnage just executed that a little bit more efficiently. Bunker next up. It's going to be hard. It really is. Now, I know yesterday, it's no indication. It's a different day, right? Obviously, RushieZ had some issues, but still, though, I have to favor Carnage. When it comes to Bunker across any team, it's just they do so well on it. They just do so well on Bunker, man. And, you know, that was actually the map that ended up deciding the victory in week number 2, or week number 2 or 3, whenever Dyslexic, filling in for Identitas, ended up taking over the victory. So there's a lot of history here whenever it comes to Carnage on Bunker, and it's going to be very difficult for RushieZ to take it. I'm just going to be real.
Oh, 100% Carnage right now, they're favored to win this. I mean, as good as the Rise has been throughout history, Carnage is playing very, very good gears right now. And yeah, Bunker, that's their map pick. As I said, Rise is a very strong Bunker team, but they did lose Bunker yesterday to Carnage in Pro League. As I said before, though, not a lot of people know this. How would you know this? But INZEM was having some mic issues, and that does
Yeah,
change a lot. You know, you need all five
sure.
of your players able to talk. And that's something that should be in his control, but he said his Discord crashed. I kind of yelled at him for it because I still blame him for it. You got to figure something out. You know, these are variables that you should be able to
Right.
to figure out. But hey, I mean, Rise now has their back to the wall. They need to win this bunker if they want to force a map number 3 in Asylum. We're gonna have to see if they could come out and win this. I mean, that's a tough loss though. After winning so many of those initials, just to lose the final round because you lost the initial, that's very tough. I know they're a little upset about that
Yeah.
one, but they have to shake it off if they want to win.
Well, let's not forget too, a couple rounds before that, right? The misuse of the drop shot, not getting any value, that hurt them too, right? So there was a
Yes.
lot of little mistakes that just compounded to the loss at the end. Now, you are the expert though whenever it comes to this, especially the Rise roster. Now we're heading into Bunker. I know you mentioned, yesterday obviously it's unfortunate for INZEM, but were there anything else? Were there any other loose ends that maybe Rise needs to clean up in order to beat Carnage here today?
Well, I mean, continuing where they left off on training grounds, Bunker, the initial is very, very different. But I want to give credit to the way Rise was coming out on top on a lot of those engagements, those scrappy
Sure.
engagements that Carnage is so good at. Rise was right there shooting back with them. They're going to need to continue on because Bunker is the type of map where you win initials, you win the map clean out. It's very easy to hold certain setups on Bunker because of how open it is. I wouldn't say easy is the word, but it's a lot more methodical holding those defensive setups
Yeah.
compared to a map like Training Grounds. So yeah, if I'm Rise, just pick up where you left off. Be confident in these initials, confident in your strategies, and yeah, hopefully Enzem could keep his Discord running because you don't want to be missing call
Right.
outs in a grand final.
So one good thing I like about Rise, we kind of highlighted it earlier today, was the fact that they prioritize that bunker push. They prioritize, kind of taking over bunker, right? Gives them the added insurance for the overextension. It also gives them the added insurance to be able to Lancer down on the neutral onto B, right? Which is hugely beneficial. A lot of people wouldn't expect that to be so monumental, but it is, because any extra damage you get in, it opens yourself up to getting the chunk, right? Getting that final Nasher shot onto your enemies up ahead. So I expect Rice to do that very effectively. My question is Carnage going to be able to shut that down? Will they be able to predict that? Have they done their homework? It's going to be a big question for me that will be answered shortly. But again, those initials important. Tunnel fight is going to be chaotic. I do expect maybe Carnage to have a leg up there, but I will say this. INZEM and Avexys have been popping off today. They've been hitting their shots. They've been looking really, really good. So all problems aside, I think Rise is still going to be in there. You got to also think about FraNChiS going for the overextensions. He loves to do that, man, and he is all about playing that objective.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, Fran, this is one of the few maps for Rise where Fran plays a front spawn role. So, I mean, he's going to be the tip of the spear for Rise. He's going to have the rest of the Rise members shooting for him. And that's interesting to have your IGL take that front spawn role and be the front of the pack because you can't really direct the troops when you're in the front.
It's
But I
true.
mean, it's a strategy that we've been trying to work on Bunker, and I think it's been helping us out. But it is interesting that these two teams played each other on this same map yesterday. So I mean, we're going to see a lot of the same strategies, and there's going to be some adaptations coming out from either team. You know, seeing as they literally just played 24 hours ago on this same exact map.
It's true. Yeah, literally just 24 hours ago, which is pretty impressive. But hey, brass tacks about the whole thing is Rise needs to win this. They've got to force a game number 3 on Asylum, which is really anybody's map, to be straight up with you, right? We've seen already some great Asylum matches tonight, but I expect that to be a bloodbath back and forth. But Carnage Gaming, this is their chance to strike while the anvil's hot, take the victory, and end up on top. It's going to be an interesting one, regardless, though. We've been talking a lot about Rise. Key takeaways from Carnage, though. Absenz played very, very well on Bunker yesterday. He was just popping off. He was one of the key components as to why Carnage was very successful in that victory. Well, another thing about Carnage, too, is, if they take over B, they're not shy about pushing up and pushing into the spawn of their opponents, and they did that versus Rise. They're not shy about going, trying to get that triple cap. They can back off if they want, but again, that's kind of really not their strategy. They did it a little bit on training grounds, which impressed me because that was kind of like, all right, you're really using your brain here as opposed to just your brawn. But Rise is going to have to focus on that. If they do lose the initials, if it doesn't go as good as training grounds did, I expect Carnage to be all over their home hill. So something Rise is going to have to think about.
Oh yeah, for sure. We saw it yesterday. Carnage, they didn't let their foot off the gas pedal. They just keep going. And I mean, that's their forte. That's the way they want to secure rounds. And even if they lose those crazy fights, as long as they're pushing towards the opponent's side of the map, you can afford to lose that fight because it gives you time to respawn before your opponents can traverse the whole map in 3 caps. So I think Carnage, we said they weren't the smartest team, but I think their strategy is very sound in the meta now for Gears 5 Esports. And their record and their success it shows too, why that strategy is working.
100%. I can't wait to get it started. I really can. It's going to be a fun one on Bunker. Let us know in chat. I'll go and pull it up. Let us know, who do you think is going to take the victory? Because this is a big one for RushieZ, without question. And this is a big one for RushieZ for multiple different reasons. First and foremost, they get revenge on Bunker, a map they lost yesterday. And more importantly, they stay alive in the series. I think RushieZ wants this win versus Carnage. They want that revenge. Even though it's not Pro League, it's still a victory nonetheless. So expect them to be taking it very seriously. The map is going to be loading up. I know, Ribs, you're not giving any predictions, but again, I have to stay strong with Carnage. I think they're going to take it. I really do. But RushieZ, veteranship, they played well on training grounds. They just kind of fell off towards the end. But honestly, it was just a good match in general. RushieZ really, they had a couple of mishaps, but so did Carnage. It is what it is. It's a give and take. So I think this is going to be very competitive. And I really hope it's going to be a lot better than yesterday. And I think it will be with INZEM now, being in Discord's working, everything is good to go. So, hey, hopefully so anyways. If not, I'm pretty sure you're going to hop off broadcast and go yell. Which, please don't do that because I need my co-caster. But, hey, at the end of the day, well, he does say do it. So my producer wants you to do it. I don't. But, at the end of the day, you got to listen to the
do
producer.
what? Go into their Discord right now?
Well, go yell at them.
Are we waiting on RushieZ to join right now?
No, I think map is loaded. No, we're good.
Okay, because I'll do it. I'll go in there, man. I'll bring the viewers with me. We'll all go into the RushieZ Discord.
Man, that would be interesting. I heard a little bit of it. I think after round number 1, I heard you in there. So hey, I can't wait to see how this works out. Hey, it's gonna be a good one. But who takes it? Who knows? I think Carnage, but at the end of the day, map is taking a long time. It is what it is, and people in chat talking about CG already. They already beat UIU, PK, and actually this guy says, and RushieZ, there's nothing to do now. Apparently they've reached a pinnacle of Gears of War, at least according to him. Hey, and that's fair enough. He's a fan through and through.
If I'm sitting at home right now and I'm VQ, if I'm Vital Sam, if I'm Precision, those VQ right now is the demon for Carnage. Carnage cannot beat VQ. They haven't been able to do it ever since the qualifying series a few weeks back. But yeah, they've beaten just about everybody else, and now they're 1 map away from winning their first Emergence stage as a full roster. Just RushieZ up against them, the only one stopping them from winning, but it's Carnage getting first blood. Avexys and INZEM getting taken out. Fran getting a trade onto Dsylexic, but it is a 4v3 advantage. Favor Carnage.
All right, and they also have Bravo. RushieZ, though, looking to change that. He's going to hop on. Got Absenz down low. Looking to make some moves. RushieZ, though, beautiful kill onto him. He's going back for more. He gets to trade, and that's okay. Now Fran is in a 1v1. He has been neutralized, but 3 members are down for Carnage. RushieZ, they've got the members off the respawn, so they're not going to be able to, go for the overextension as of yet, but they're going to give it a good shot, it seems.
Yeah, that's an initial win for RushieZ. A huge double kill from Rush right there. Yeah, this is going to put RushieZ in a very good spot. Look, this is their setup. Lancering down this hill area. They're able to get it down on BGod. I don't think they're going to be able to get that kill. They are getting the kill. So this is looking good for RushieZ so far, even though Carnage got those first 2 kills. Big fights won by Fran and RushieZ over at the B hill. Now it's going to be Carnage waiting for Feint. Wait, Feint goes down now too? No, he got respawned. Okay. Or he got revived. Yeah. Keep in mind, Feint has 4 lives right now, 4 respawns. He hasn't died yet. He's the only member of Carnage that hasn't died yet. So he should be the first ones to push in if anyone's going to push.
Oh. Okay.
Are they trolling?
What is...
Hostile down.
I don't know.
Okay, so
I don't know what... Look, check this out. Shockwqve was... I'm going to be honest with you, Ribs.
Yeah, something's going on.
I really don't know.
There's something going on the side of Carnage right now.
Well, we're going to just roll with it.
I am confused, Taylor.
Hey, I'm confusion too, man. I'm not Confucius. I'm confusion, man. This is not looking good.
Get him, Fran.
Yeah, he was Shockwqve was literally looking just thumbs up, like, hey, just kill my guy. Like, kill my teammate. We'll find out what's going on, but
Feint isn't even respawning, and Feint has a free respawn. He has a respawn.
It's got to be some type of connection issue or something.
Oh, he has 300 ping. Someone in the chat said, oh, Shockwqve is in the chat, one of the members of Carnage, and he says that one of my teammates has 300 ping, and we need a rehost. Is that what that means?
Yeah, I got the Google Translate on, so I'm able to see it. I do. I actually do.
Wait, it goes right into the chat and it translates?
Right-click, translate to English. Yeah, Google Chrome, right-click the chat. I had to teach my people this too. You go up there, but it does. But you know what? I'm able to communicate and see what's going on. Hey, it's fine though. Now I actually know what's happening in chat. Before I was lost in the sauce. All I knew was no mames. But now I've got full range to see what everybody's saying.
All right. Well, the pings seem to jump back to normal. Well, at the end of that round, it didn't look like anybody was above 100 ping on Carnage.
Well,
but they're still stalling.
Weapon trees are being built.
Yeah, and that's their typical placement right there. Smoke grenade. Let's check the pings. All right, they look good to go. I mean, RushieZ gets a round there, which looked to be a free round, but not running out of spawn. So,
yep, I think they're just going to go ahead and have a discussion, see what's going on, but that gives us some time to talk.
Yeah, there goes the ping again. Absenz is up to 150 ping.
Yeah, so we'll see. I know admins are discussing that, and we'll see what's taking place there. But you know, you mentioned VQ. So what is it? PK and VQ are currently tied for first. I think they have the same. You know, for the most part, it's just kind of been interesting. But hey, they are in fact going to be remaking the lobby. I know BGod, I think, had 3 lives. So yeah, that's why they ended up taking him down. Is getting the respawns back to normal. And then we will, in fact, be ready to go. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how this is going to work out. But they're also, of course, have to give the first round over. So we're going to just go ahead and wait until it hits 250, because that's just the best way to go about it. You can't get a 5-man wipe because it's, I guess it'd be unfair. But I like it.
Pump that. Get the 5-man wipe. Yeah, 3 cap. Do something. Get us into the second round.
I thought they were going to wait till
250. No. What are they doing? Cap it. RushieZ.
Okay, there we go. Hey, man.
Sick of RushieZ.
Like that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Sick of RushieZ, man. All right. 1-0. All tied. Well, not all tied up, but at least where we need to be. So build those weapon trees per normal. And hopefully all the respawns and everything is good to go. And more importantly, the host is good to go for Carnage. Bit of a, setback, but it is what it is. Had to make sure everything was fair. And we did see, the ping up to 300. You just can't play like that. So now hopefully everything is going to be good. And we'll get to see a little bit more. So what did we learn from round number 1? It seems like it's been an eternity ago, but we are back into it. So round 1, the initial, right, was just fantastic for the boys of RushieZ, right? They just kind of dominated it and did a good job. And maybe they can do much the same here in round number 2.
They lost the bunker fight, technically. It wasn't a clean initial. It was Rush with a huge double kill and Fran.
That is true,
yeah. That is true. So far, when it comes to this fight over here, in the favor, Carnage. And once again, Carnage is going to get the first kill, but Rush picks up one. Avexys picks up another. INZEM picks up another. So Fran goes down, but all the other members of RushieZ picking up kills onto Carnage. Now Shockwqve in a very tough spot. He's between 2 members of RushieZ. He's going to target switch a couple times. Almost gets himself a chunk right there, but isn't going to do it. Good try, though, right there. You see him switching targets back and forth. That's what you have to do in those 1v2 scenarios.
100%. Keep your team in it, right? So Carnage off the respawn. A little bit worried about RushieZ going for the overextension, and rightly so. So it's going to be a 3v3. RushieZ going to back off and play a little bit of defense. Fran, though, in his position, he's going to go ahead and stick that shock down low. Not the shock, excuse me, but the flash down low. So as soon as Absenz goes through, he's going to be hit up with it. So Carnage's got to find a way to break through. Where did they do that at? Looks as if it might be onto B. Icy, though, is ready. He is ready to go.
There's no way they're expecting him to be here, but they can try to check the corner. And that's what Feint does right there. Feint doesn't run right into Icy. They end up getting the call out, but good on Icy and Rush. They're going to get back. They're going to reset. Here comes the push onto the B hill. Fran actually picking up a kill onto Dsylexic. He gets traded out, though, so now 4v4 on the map. Feint hits a nice shot onto Ice, but there's the trade. Rush with a beautiful flank. Avexys gets a kill on the BGod. Now this is going to be Carnage. If they decide to spawn in, will be their 3rd respawn on the round, which isn't typical. So let's see if they decide to hold on to their respawns. Looks like they are going to concede the round more than likely.
Dsylexic, he'll push and try to get a touch, but it doesn't even matter. There you go, RushieZ, 2 rounds in a row. So yesterday, as you said, hey, different circumstances. At least today, looks like RushieZ, they're ready.
And now it's Avexys with 100+ ping, but I guess he's going to play through it. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're playing online. I do miss LAN very, very much, though, Taylor. I miss LAN so much. I feel like a game like Gears benefited so much from LAN, be it the energy that we had, the trash
energy,
talk,
yeah.
and then just the game itself, the way it plays out. It plays much, much smoother without dealing with all these different pings and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it is
at least we have something.
Yeah.
You know, at least we have something with COVID. But I, you know, it's funny. I've been casting Gears now a little bit, and I still have yet to be or to have gone to a Gears event. So I'm missing out, and I really miss that. And I hate that, you know. But I can't wait to go to one eventually in the future. It's going to be a lot of fun. But hey, we first have to get through this little portion. But I think everybody's kind of adjusted well, you know. I mean, when it comes to online play, it is what it is. We've been doing it now for some time. That it's becoming a little bit normal. Yeah, less energy, but everybody is adjusted very well. For RushieZ, speaking of adjustment, look at this, man. Again, another flawless start.
At that time, Fran getting taken down very early, but Avexys there gets the revive and the chunk. I believe Carnage hasn't gotten 1 kill in this round so far. Avexys going to be pressuring the overextension with the help of his team. They're all going to be shooting for him. He rolls back, stays alive with his life, and that's a nice bait and switch. He throws the flash grenade, gets the kill. Dsylexic gets 1, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Right now, RushieZ is swarming the home hill of Carnage. Carnage getting touches here and there, but they're not getting the shotgun kills. And RushieZ going to go up 3-0 here in map number 2.
If I had to guess what's happening here, they're a bit upset that they had to go through all that work to reset that lobby. I don't know how much of an effect that has. I mean, obviously you've been a pro player and you know you're amongst the pros and everything, but you know, a reset like that, despite it being legitimate, is annoying, right? So it's like RushieZ's like, man, you know what? They wasted too much time. Let's just close this out early. And that's what they're on the way to do.
Well, I'll tell you, if they're upset about anything, it's the fashion they lost that training grounds, that round number 9, so close. But yeah, if you're upset, there's nothing wrong with being upset. This is a very frustrating game to play, all right, Taylor? And I tell this to my players all the time. You could be upset. Just don't let it affect the way you call out. Don't let that emotion cloud your judgment. Just channel that emotion, channel that anger into every single shotgun pellet. Understand?
And that's what Carnage needs to do. Like you said, they're not hitting their shotgun shots. Now it's going to be that much more important, not only for the neutral, but also for the fresh drop shot. Now, because the first 3 rounds were very quick, respawn economy is going to be very equal. So they're going to be able to give up a lot of lives if they so decide, but that was just great teamwork from RushieZ as well as INZEM. Fran, though, is going to get finished off, and so is INZEM. So now Carnage Gaming is answering back, and I hear the uh-oh from you, but then again, Icy picks up a big kill. Absenz now is there, and Icy's going to get away. So either way, RushieZ will take over that initial.
Yeah. I mean, I say uh-oh just because, like, Absenz just got away with murder. But now it's up to Rush. I think it's Rush and Ice right now fighting a 2v3. Icy does have a drop shot, though, which is going to help slow down the push a little bit. He misses that second drop shot. Dsylexic with a nice 2-shot down, and that's going to be a successful retake for Carnage.
All about maintaining it. Ooh, that's actually a good pick for Absenz onto INZEM, because you notice he was really in that advanced position. And, you know, RushieZ, I don't know if they were going for the overextension. I doubt it, but at least picking him off now pins those 2 players from RushieZ up. And now Carnage is going to be aggressive, pushing them back even further. So good on Carnage to get that pick, and good on Absenz as well. Fran, he's going to push up. Flash is going to be out. Absenz now is going to be down low. Lancer's out. Big battle here, and Fran's getting very aggressive. He wants this.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much map control that RushieZ has right now. If they're able to push through for this overextension, that'd be huge. And it looks like Rush and Fran are going to run right past Carnage Lancers. Meanwhile, Avexys behind the rest of them. He's going to get taken out by Shockwqve, but RushieZ is still in a pretty good spot here. If you look at the points, it's going to be up to Rush and Fran right now. They're going to be outnumbered to try to get away with some of these kills. Nice shotgun shots coming out from Rush. It's up to Fran now to clean up the kills. He's able to get 1, but a huge double kill coming out from BGod. Keeping his team alive, but in that time, RushieZ was able to get the B hill, so they're playing all parts of the map simultaneously, which is very good when you have this big of a point lead.
And Dyslexic being on his last life, you know he's one of the main slayers for this roster, so it's going to be tough for him. He's going to have to play this very intelligently. That fresh drop shot is coming into play. INZEM tries to get over there, get a little bit of a leg up, but not going to be successful in doing so. But Fran connects on the 2 and unfortunately gets finished up, but still takes down 2 players. That is big. The drop shot now is down. And Shockwqve looks to get the pick, and he does. But this is still going to be very difficult for Carnage in the overextension. Look at this. You have RushieZ, who's made his way over there, gets to decap. That's just going to waste even more time. Yeah,
spreading out the map. Like I said, when you have this big of a point lead, yes, you want to turtle, you want to make sure you stay alive, but if you could spread out the map and make sure all the resources of Carnage is going all over the place, then you'll be able to win the round. Now, look, they don't even have enough time to overextend. RushieZ, they go up 4-0 here on Bunker. And very smart plays throughout that round. I mean, it's quick respawns, so you know you're probably not going to win off of a 3 cap. And I think the strategy right there from RushieZ was just played perfectly.
Man, this is looking bad for Carnage. You know, I thought they were going to have a leg up. I really did, but you said different day, different circumstances. And well, that's the case, okay? But tonight has been a night for comebacks, although RushieZ hasn't really hiccuped at all. They haven't struggled literally during any of those 4 rounds. Like, they've just dominated through and through. So I don't expect Carnage to really have a leg up here or even have an opportunity to come back, because that drop shot fight is going to continue on and on and on. But instants are going to be evened out. Carnage Gaming finally gets their hands on them. FraNChiS has been doing a great job with the connections. Getting that 2-piece was huge on artillery, right? That at least stopped Carnage from having that manpower to be able to push through. So it's going to be a big round for Carnage, a big second half in general, man. This is, it's going to be tough, and I don't know if Carnage has it in them. I really don't.
It starts with one fight. You can't give up. Obviously, you can't concede. There's a reason why Carnage is here. They're a great team. If they could win one initial, if they could win one round, they could definitely mount a comeback. We've seen it so many times. But RushieZ just looks great right now. Look at this. It's like fish in a barrel right now. Fran misses some shots, though. He misses multiple shots. Misses the melee, and BGod. That is unacceptable. It's stuff like that. Like, oh, boy. Good job from BGod winning that 1v2, but that was so bad. I feel bad for Fran.
Yeah, that was
completely whiffing 3 shots in a row and then getting chunked. And then maybe that's it. Maybe that was the spark that Carnage needed right there. BGod with a huge 1v2.
Oh no, you're dirty. You're dirty, producer. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah.
Like, how do you miss when you're shooting at fish in a barrel?
I love it. And just
BGod was in a barrel,
fish in a barrel, and then Fran is the barrel, or Fran is the fish in the barrel. And he, I'm gonna tell you what though, that wall that was in front of him, oh, he put a hurting on it.
Oh yeah,
2
that
shots,
wall.
2 full spreads into that wall, and a knife. That wall was down and out.
Yeah,
100%.
That wall is out of respawns currently.
All right, well, hey, Carnage takes 1 round, still very far away from taking the victory, but it is encouraging to know that they can at least win. So let's see if Carnage can continue on and continue forward. Fran's going to back off. Absenz tries to get the quick pick. RushieZ goes up, hits a nice spread. Good bait and switch. Now Fran goes up there, tries to hit again. This is a very, very long-winded round. Oh, Absenz, though, if he gets away, this is massive. Fran's from the corner, tries to get a pickup, unable to do so. INZEM and RushieZ, they're out. Fran now missed a couple shots, too. Shockwqve takes him down. What's going on? That's 3 out of the way. Make that 4.
That was such a ballsy pickup by the drop shot from Absenz, but I guess he knew he had the help coming out from his teammates. And Carnage, 1 round at a time. This round isn't over yet, but this is a very tough spot for RushieZ to try to get back into it, especially when Absenz is getting that double kill. It's now up to Icy and Avexys to try to make the unthinkable happen. Avexys in a 1v5 scenario, he gets down. Carnage now 3 rounds away from making their 4-0 comeback, and it wouldn't be the first 4-0 comeback we've seen tonight.
No, it wouldn't be. Definitely. Actually, wasn't it RushieZ who made that 4-0 comeback too?
Yeah, they came back against F&I on Forge, but
I mean, I'm not going to get too excited yet, right? Because you know, I'm really not, because PK and Hive, remember, they played. PK was up 4-0. Hive then won 2 straight rounds. And I kind of called it. I was like, all right, this is looking good. But then, of course, Hive ended up losing. So RushieZ is still in there. Disables are out. So RushieZ is going to go ahead and use the disable on the instant. It makes sense. It's going to better their chances to be more successful on the drop shot. But there are some shaky shots. Like, that's without question straight up. Like, Fran is missing some key shots.
Yes.
Not all on him, though. But let's see how it works out. They need to win this initial.
And we're on board with Fran, too. And you're right. I mean, he's missing spreads. He's a very accurate player, typically. Maybe he's running out of steam. It's been a long night. He's getting flanked. He's not going to miss that shot, though. But the drop shot in the hands of Absenz. And we saw him get 3 kills with 2 drop shots in the last round. But this time around, he's going to have to retreat all the way towards his respawn. And getting away with the drop shot's a good win, but RushieZ is going to have control over the map.
Shortly, though. I'm curious, when Carnage decides to push up, how are they going to do this? So it's a tough retake to get onto E, and you also have Fran too that's going to be on the other side in his typical position, right? Because he loves to go for those overextensions. So the opportunity is there. Active reload in for the drop. And Absenz is going to hold on to it, and wisely so. I don't think he shot any of them off, if I'm not... No, so he still has 2 drill bits, and that's going to be hugely beneficial for getting these breaks. So Carnage is down about 60 points now, so they need to move in and get this going. So the start has occurred. But I am going to be curious about Fran and Avexys, because they might push into players 9 and 7. That's going to be beneficial, but look at RushieZ down low. That's on BGod. That's a big pickup. If he gets Shockwqve here, that's huge. That could be a nice 2-piece, and he does.
And so now even with the drop shot kills coming out, it's just not enough. That was a huge double kill coming out from Rush. He was pretty much the only player in danger, and he comes out with 2 kills. The drop shot gets put in the hands of INZEM. That's a huge mishap from Absenz not putting the drop shot away in time. And now RushieZ is swarming the home hill. INZEM has a free drop shot kill. He's going to land it onto Dsylexic. Absenz has enough time to get there, but he's going to have to run into an Insend. Hops over cover. He gets taken out. We're going to a map number 3, Taylor.
Yes, we are. Like I said, I didn't want to get too excited just yet. RushieZ was still very much so in there, and now we head in Asylum, like you said. Hey, I give it to RushieZ. That first half was flawless.
That's flawless indeed, going up 4-0. That is quite the cushion. And it's not an insurmountable comeback, but this time it will be. RushieZ makes the proper adjustments after losing Bunker yesterday to this same roster. Can they make the proper adjustments to win Asylum out? I mean, they won it yesterday, Asylum, but it wasn't the match-deciding map. It was a map just to help them win, go into a map 3. But yeah, Asylum, it's anyone's game. You said it earlier, Taylor. If we get to a map 3, you said you slightly favor RushieZ on a map 3, but
I do.
It goes either way, right? It just comes down to who hits those final shots.
I definitely favor RushieZ. A little bit more into that, though. We are going to go to a quick little break, but don't go anywhere because map number 3 is coming in hot and heavy. By the way, we're going to have a new champion tonight, regardless whether it's Carnage or RushieZ, but it comes down to this. The pressure is on. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back with Asylum.
Caliber. So, I mean, maybe RushieZ is getting over the hump now. UIU clearly isn't after losing to Apricity, but it's only a matter of time before even UIU, without Mental, becomes that championship level team. But yeah, RushieZ has a huge hurdle right now going on because you say they look like the better team, but I still see Carnage winning some fights they shouldn't be winning. And
agreed.
In Gears Esports, if you're winning these shotgun engagements, especially the ones where you're at a disadvantage, it goes a long way, man, because then it shows the other team that you're just a better shotgun player. And that means a lot in Gears Esports.
Here we go. Map number 3, Asylum. This is what decides it, folks. Okay, it comes down to this. Who's going to be a champion? Will it be Carnage Gaming or RushieZ? Well, we will have our answer after this. Now, what looked like a very strong start for Carnage now falls to the wayside. RushieZ answers back. That's 4 members down.
The trades are going in favor of RushieZ. Yes, Carnage is getting kills here and there. It looks like Dsylexic actually overextended on his own, got the break onto RushieZ's home hill, and got away with his life. So despite RushieZ winning the neutral hill, they're still going to be down in points, but they're going to catch Absenz with the help of the train to try to cut him off. But Absenz, what beautiful movement. He stays alive, and now it's RushieZ. Members of RushieZ getting taken out. And that's going to be the neutral hill going in favor of Carnage. Another successful retake.
A successful retake indeed. And see, that's what they were doing so well on when it came to Bunker, right? They were able to retake. They were able to win those initials and come in hard. And look at Fran onto Absenz and Shockwqve. You love to see him hitting shots because on Bunker, he was whiffing a lot, but at least right now, those shots are tight. For BGod, though, he will meet his end to INZEM, and RushieZ will recover B.
I actually counted RushieZ out right there. When I said successful retake, I saw that Fran was back there, but I was like, surely, you know, Fran isn't going to be able to get any kills here. He's outnumbered. I spoke too soon. Fran got a big 2-piece right there. Avexys gets that trade. Carnage concedes the round. RushieZ takes first blood here on map number 3.
Yep, good stuff for them. Really. I think, you know, RushieZ, their best chance, at least for me, from what I've observed, could be wrong, which I normally am, is going to be this first half. That Trax fight, I think, is going to benefit them tremendously. For the Streets fight, though, got to give the leg up to Carnage. So if I'm RushieZ, I'm looking for as many rounds as I can take here on Trax to better our chances going into the second half. Because how did Asylum go? I know it ended in round number 9, but that second half? Was that where Carnage really started to heat up and then RushieZ kind of shut them down?
Yeah, it came down to some key fights. I mean, I believe the drop shot was placed in the middle of the map, which is a fight that a lot of these teams are used to. I'm curious. I mean, that's the big question mark for me going into the later parts of this map is where will that major power weapon be placed on the center line? There's 3 different choices. We're going to have to wait and see. But until then, we're going to have these raw initials with no power weapons, not much utility, and it's going to be RushieZ continuing to do well, but those are 2 big over-the-cover shotgun downs coming out from BGod. Now it's up to Avexys in a 1v2. I believe he has help coming from the opposite end, and it is going to be Fran getting it down. Avexys cleans up 1. Now Fran in a 1v2 situation. A misroll from BGod. Feint tries to reset. He's waiting for help off of the respawn. Wow. Fran is going to put his back to the respawn, and he is going to get down for it. After a bloody initial, it is going to be Carnage coming out on top.
A bloody initial indeed. I'm not gonna lie, Carnage is they're not looking like the Carnage that I'm accustomed to seeing. Now, by no means, you know, does that put them out, but RushieZ is looking really good here. So we'll see. RushieZ retake control of the neutral. Player 7's gonna get that pickup, so good job on Icy. But the pressure's there. Absenz gonna come around the corner, but unfortunately, he's gonna get blindsided. Now, Icy's gonna hit a nice little shot on the BGod, forcing him to back off. Carnage cannot get onto B, but look at RushieZ already pushing tracks.
Yeah, RushieZ is just playing very aggressively. They're using their teamworks to their advantage, but it is going to be INZEM that gets downed out. He got headshotted by Lancer right there, Taylor, which means he was out of downs. He doesn't go down. That nice back A from Dsylexic, and quickly that neutral hill goes back in favor of Carnage. It's been so back and forth this round. Avexys overextends, but meanwhile Feint overextends. So now the only hill right now in favor of RushieZ is the home hill of Carnage. It's going to be a 1v2. Avexys gets taken out. He gets angled out by Dsylexic and BGod. Dsylexic is going to let Avexys crawl a little bit. He's going to get taken out. But the neutral hill goes back in favor of RushieZ. Look at the score too, Taylor. It's a very close points right now between these 2 teams, but it is going to be a slight advantage in favor of Carnage.
Slight advantage indeed, and very, very slight. So RushieZ has been doing a great job of retaking tracks. I'm looking at player 4. It's going to be Shockwqve and Pavilion. He's going to have an opportunity to out-angle player number 7, and really anybody that pushes up. But double train means he's going to be separated. He knows this, so now he's going to back out of Pavilion and at least try and help player number 5. So RushieZ, they don't decide to push up. Traditionally, you would see a player push in there, but it looks like Carnage Gaming might be the first one to do so.
Keep in mind, this is a 2v2 going out for this neutral hill right now. You're going to see Icy in the back of the map. He's going to grab the flash grenades and maybe help with this track fight. There was a lot of fighting going on the other side of the map as well, but no team yet to draw blood here in this middle round engagement. I think these next few kills should decide this second round. RushieZ, though, if they're able to get this cap, which they do, they're going to quickly get this comeback with the points. Fran gets taken out, though, which is huge. As I said before, these next few kills are going to be so important, but it is Feint that gets taken out right after, and BGod goes down, Absenz goes down. On the home hill, Avexys actually just got a double kill, and RushieZ in the later parts of this second round win all of the gunfights.
All the gunfights, every single one. Good job on them. 2-0 lead. Carnage, they are struggling without question. They're having those moments where they're up ahead, but RushieZ is taking their time. They're playing methodical, and you can really see the cogs turning, right? You can really see kind of the brain working as they're just finding those opportunities to push through and take advantage of Carnage's misposition. I'm not seeing a lot of teamwork from Carnage. I'm really not. I'm seeing a lot of individuality, right? And they have that. They have a lot of talent as individuals, but they're strongest when they come together. RushieZ, though, you already know they're going to play as one cohesive unit, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're using numbers to their advantage. And even if it is a 2v2 or a 3v3, RushieZ is just finding out a better way to kind of come together as one unit in general. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. The teamwork from RushieZ is fantastic.
He's going to miss that Incen, but he is going to put BGod in the tough spot. BGod's going to go down to INZEM over the cover. Now it's Shockwqve using the Incen to defend himself, but now he's in a 1v2 situation. He gets taken out. Who's that on the flank right there? It's going to be Dsylexic. And I don't think Icy knows. Icy has a Lancer out. But he is able to pull out a shotgun quickly, and he hits a good shot onto Dyslexic. AC playing very patient right there, gets the up A shot. And that was the exact type of gameplay I love seeing out of Icy. He's so composed in scenarios like that, where Dyslexic actually had a huge advantage going into that fight.
I'm telling you, something's going on. Carnage is not looking the same. And I don't know if it was that big loss on Bunker, but they're just not hitting their shots. They're not connecting as much as they used to. They're really not. So RushieZ are going to take advantage of that. Like you know, RushieZ championship caliber team. They're just not going to back off from that. So I'm curious, is Carnage like frazzled, you know? Like, are they in their own heads? And that could be. There are a lot of young players, so who knows what it takes to kind of, you know, get in their heads, and mentally they just kind of fall apart. But still very early on. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Backtrain is going to move forward, and Feint is going to get the capture on B.
It's definitely too early to tell, but I will say I agree with you right now. RushieZ is playing at a higher caliber all in all. Still a lot left to play here in this Asylum, and as we've seen before, it only really takes one round, one team fight for Carnage to really just get their wheels going. As I say that, they get a clean wipe onto most of the members of RushieZ. Fran is getting angled out from everywhere, and I think just like that, Carnage is going to secure their first round here on this tiebreak map.
All right, Carnage, finally, stop the bleeding. Bring it 1-2. But still a lot of work to be done. They need to win round number 4. Keep it close. Do not need to allow RushieZ to get up ahead, right? Because like I said, I think going into the second half, that Streets fight, I think Carnage Gaming is going to be a lot better off. But they just have to get through first half and keep it as even as possible. Still early on, Carnage Gaming taking that round, give them newfound confidence, and it shows them, hey, we can win. So RushieZ, maybe a drop shot down on tracks. They do. It makes sense. Actually, I think we saw this exact play during Pro League yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting for sure. I mean, going and putting that drop shot down first, that's a big move. But like I said, that's what I'm going to be looking out for. And yeah, RushieZ deciding that they'd rather have it over at the tracks instead of into that middle room area. Now even... It's a quick lag spike right there, but it looks like the players are still fighting. Fran picks up a kill on Dyslexic. I don't know if he used that to his advantage, but now it's going to be a 5v4 in favor of RushieZ. But this is quick respawns here. Dyslexic already going to respawn here. Drop shot still up for grabs. Icy is going to dodge that INZEM. Nice Lancer down from Avexys. They're going to focus that kill. Down Shockwqve a second time. BGod once again doing great things over this cover. We call this the gate. He is going to get traded out. Here comes the train to make everything that's already so hectic even more hectic. I think it's going to be a man advantage here for RushieZ. They're yet to pick up the drop shot.
Well, Vex is going to get it now, finally. He's going to get Lancer down. Actually, he might get finished. Yeah, he will be. So it's going to drop. Absenz now gets to pick up. RushieZ is right there. But Absenz gets away. So that was something he was doing a really good job on Bunker, right? He was getting those picks where you would think he shouldn't be. But getting away with that is actually pretty big. So Carnage has the objective. At least for now, they're going to get onto C, so they'll keep it and continue that lead forward. But getting away with that drop, still having 2 drill bits, that's pretty massive.
Yeah, I mean, that's an initial win in the favor of Carnage. Even though they lost a lot of their early numbers, the respawns came in so fast, and they were able to catch Avexys trying to grab the drop shot. I believe he was just trying to grab it and put it in his pocket. He wasn't able to do it. So now it's going to be Carnage with a 2-hill setup, 2 drop shots to their disposal. They're going to be spread out accordingly as well. 2 members watching the home hill. Absenz getting a drop shot kill over on Avexys. Last round of the half here, though, so every player is going to use all their respawns, and it's going to be a couple of kills coming out for Icy on the overextension. He has help coming out from INZEM. They're going to take this 2v2 fight if they can, knowing that there's going to be members of Carnage spawning up soon.
You also have RushieZ pushing Trek simultaneously. Absenz is there, but Carnage picks up some big kills. Fran on his last life, and Absenz does get away. Now, I don't know how many drop shots he's used as of yet, but he might still have 2. I doubt he has 2. There's no way that he allowed them. He used 1. Okay,
yeah, he
so
got a
he
kill
might
earlier.
Still have 1 more in there. And Dyslexic, though, is going to be pushed back. INZEM looking to push in. Still, though, capturing A here is going to keep Carnage in the lead. They are picking up some big kills. Absenz, though, is going to drop. That is disappointing because now Dyslexic is going to push. That's going to be a big kill, and Absenz gets picked up.
Yeah, I think right now Carnage is definitely fighting to tie up this map here. Going into the second half at a 2-2 advantage. Fran is going to have to go huge. Gets a decent shot onto Dsylexic, but it's not enough. No more respawns coming out for Fran. INZEM's going to go out. He has no more respawns as well. And it looks like Carnage is going to tie it up 2-2. Just when you were counting them out, Taylor, they turned up and won the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, good on them. I mean, look, without question, though, they were struggling at the start. I mean, like, I think we can all agree on that. But hey, they're in it. They're ready to go. Drop shots out. Boom, connection. Avexys, we'll see you later. So Carnage will take this round convincingly. And that's good news for them. You know, keeps it close. RushieZ, though, still very much so in it, but it is going into the second half. But one thing that is consistent is that drop shot on tracks. And what makes it interesting to me is we've seen RushieZ win it, and we've also seen, you know, Carnage win it. So that makes me excited because it's so even, it's so close.
Yeah, and I'd much rather watch this team fight, even with the incense making things a little hectic, and of course the trains, which annoy the hell out of me, you know, when I play the game. But it's kind of fun to watch. But I'd much rather this team fight rather than a drop shot up at the E hill with that, you know, with that contest area, or even worse in that middle room, which we've seen so many times. People put the drop shot right in that pavilion, that patio area in the middle. I'd much rather see the drop shot here on tracks. It's a lot open, a lot more angles, a lot more teamwork other than just running in there with your shotgun.
100%, man. I like this fight too. It's just a little bit more dynamic. Absenz keeping up with what he did before, trying to get that quick pick, but yeah, he's just going to be a little bit too overzealous. BGod tried to go for the pickup. He's going to get burned to a crisp. So, drop shot's going to now be into the hands of RushieZ. Avexys gets away with it. That's going to be beneficial, more so than the first half, right? Because now the drop shot, you're able to isolate the members a little bit more and hold them back off the neutral for E. So, this is a good position for RushieZ, but they still have to take over the neutral. They should be able to do it, but I will say, Carnage did a great job holding them at bay for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, that quick pick strategy coming out from Carnage, it was read like a book by RushieZ. They angled them out. They used the incense to get the kills. And now they're going to probably be able to secure this cap and still have 2 drop shots to their disposal. And it looks like Avexys is actually going to use one. He doesn't deserve to get a kill there, but because he had active reload, it gets a kill somehow. That weapon is overpowered, Coalition, if you're listening.
All right, hey, use the voice, man. Use the voice. Let them know why you have a platform.
They clearly dodged that drop shot. He almost got 2 kills with it. He didn't deserve 1, but hey, I mean, it's gonna work out in the favor of RushieZ.
And you know, this thing, you know it's real. And that's what I was about to say. Whose side are you? Know it's real when you're criticizing a play that RushieZ was able to get. You know it's real that something needs to change. Dsylexic pushing up. And will successfully at least pressure back one player from E. That's Avexys, though. Shot out, actually misses. So now it's going to be mano-a-mano. Dsylexic damage, though. And Avexys will use that to his advantage. He's got to pressure this 1v2. He can't get away. And unfortunately, will go down. So the break will go through.
Yeah, that's a good trade for Carnage. Look at the score here. RushieZ now, no more drop shots to their disposal. But here comes the cavalry. They're going to use their flash grenades. They're going to push BGod out. And I don't think BGod gets away with his life. He doesn't. Meanwhile, Carnage using a good amount of their resources to get over for that second respawn of the drop shot. And it is going to be Shockwqve who picks it up. Here comes the flank, though. INZEM and another member of RushieZ are going to be on the home hill.
Be merciful.
Drop shot actually dropped, so things are looking great right now for RushieZ. Surely they win this round number 5 and go up 3-2, and they do.
All right, so they'll win that first round. Big on them, good on them in general. Good use of the drop shot, using it to their advantage. Avexys was able to pick it up. Now, granted, I think it's going to be a much different initials. Let's not forget BGod, as well as who was it? It was BGod and Absenz who pushed forward. Absenz obviously trying to get that quick pick as he's done so many times in the past. But unfortunately, it was a good connection from the side of RushieZ, and 2 members ended up falling, and that then obviously by default gave RushieZ the drop shot. So I expect Absenz to be a little bit more patient now and not try to push in as he just did for fear that he's going to get burnt to a crisp from the inside.
Yeah, I mean, RushieZ just called that out. They showed that that quick pick strategy just isn't going to work. So I highly doubt we see Carnage go for a strategy like that again. Between the incense and the good Lancer fire, it's just not going to work. So this time we're going to see more honest play come out from Carnage. Meanwhile, Dsylexic goes down. I believe that's over towards the E hill. He doesn't get taken out, but it is Avexys who gets a kill. Shockwqve gets a kill as well. Those are both Incen kills. 4v4 on the map. Make it a 4v3 in favor of RushieZ. Now, it's going to be Avexys trying to grab this drop shot. He's going to get down. Revive is there coming out from Icy. RushieZ gets taken out. Drop shot in the favor of RushieZ as long as Avexys stays alive, and it's going to be INZEM on enemy lines, getting a kill. And Icy is just the team medic at this point. He gets another revive, gets his teammate INZEM back up. And it is going to be RushieZ that are going to probably send the rest of their resources over towards E now that they have the drop shot.
Icy playing that mercy role. Hey, you always need one on your team and provide that extra healing power. So Carnage, what do they walk away with? Well, a lot of points, right? They're leading the way. They're leading the charge. But, you know, RushieZ, they're going to get to work. Avexys with that drop shot. He knows how to connect. And I think he's going to do so. Absenz, though, will pick up that INZEM, but it's not going to be as impactful as this drop shot, which is about to be put to use.
Look at him, man. He's just bot walking up the stairs like, hey, I'm here, guys. I have the drop shot. I'm here. Respect me. And I think that was his plan, you know, make them back up even without shooting a drop shot. And now look, his teammates are getting the break. They're getting the cap. And he hasn't even used either of his 2 shots. There goes the first one. And he gets a double kill once again. Why is that killing both of them? Well, good drop shot of Avexys, but why?
Well, for Absenz, no drop shot needed. Going to take down one, but the damage is done. But this is the thing. Carnage still has a very sizable lead, and RushieZ is going to back off, right? I think they were kind of wanting to go forward, but because Absenz picked up that player who overextended through streets, they feel it's just not needed. Plus, they still have the drill bit, right? And Avexys is going to be able to use it to the best of his abilities. If he picks up another 2-piece here, I mean, it's GG, and it picks up one, but now...
That full Reddit BGod.
Sure.
And now the team is going to have the win condition. He needs to watch out because there's a guy right there. And yeah, Shockwqve is going to catch Avexys off guard, but it's not enough. Avexys gets revived, and now RushieZ, they're making Carnage use a lot of respawns here in this round. If they do respawn again, that's like their third set of respawns, and it looks like they are.
That's insane. There's no reason why they're respawning here. I mean,
Explore, Taylor, but
it is.
I feel like it's a trap still.
They don't have the mana. I mean, they don't have map advantage. Like, I get it, but let's see. I don't know. I'm not the expert here. They need to push in on E. They need to make this happen. But again, Icy gets the drop shot, and Fran is going to go for the overextension.
Doesn't even get the break,
so that's big. Doesn't get the break.
Missing drop shots coming out from Icy. I think Carnage will win in the later parts of this round. Dsylexic just 180s RushieZ. Ay, Dios mío, Rush. INZEM. He's gonna misroll, and that's gonna be Carnage showing you, Taylor, why they respawn into the round, and rightfully so. I mean, it's worth investing respawns if you secure the round. I don't care if it puts the entirety of your team on their last respawn. You need rounds to win a match.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could see my worry, you know, RushieZ was pushed up. You had also, you know, Icy with the fresh drop. So it was a bit worrisome. It really was. But Fran didn't get the break, and that was the biggest impact that ended up taking place. So good on Carnage to stay up like they did and tie it up 3-3. So they are going to be hurting on respawns without question, but at least they do win that round, and keeps RushieZ away from map point, series point.
3-3, Taylor. It's a best of 3 now. First team to win 2 rounds will win this Emergence Day. What a close match this has been. Ever since the first map training grounds, this has been so close. It comes down to these final rounds. I'm actually curious to how Carnage got such a big lead that last round. Must have had that E-Hill capped while RushieZ was still fighting for the drop shot.
Right, here we go. I'm very curious. This is a big round. This is actually a massive round, and I think more so for Carnage because they're so far down in respawn economy, so far down in Absenz being your main guy who goes in for the pick. He really can't afford to do it, and you kind of see that reflected here is he's not really even going to give it a try. He's got to hang back, and I think that's the only reason why Carnage hasn't pushed tracks as aggressively as they've done in the past.
It's like I said last round, the initials are going to be way more honest at this point because players don't want to make mistakes anymore. Carnage definitely isn't going to go for those quick picks. It is going to be Carnage pressing the issue here. They get the drop shot. They use one of them. They don't get a kill. I believe INZEM's on the flank. He is. He's able to get the kill on the Shockwqve. And Carnage making the first move comes back to bite them.
Yeah. And I think RushieZ knew that, you know, because this is the thing. RushieZ uses their manpower, uses their Lancer power to force Carnage to make a move first. Well, not the force them to make a move first, excuse me, but the patience, right? Carnage was getting a bit antsy. They wanted to push in. But this is the thing. Carnage committed so much in that last round that this round here, RushieZ knows that, check it out. Even if we take an early loss, even if we take, you know, an early deficit in points, if we can just kill a couple of the players from Carnage, and in this case, right, I mean, you get a lot of critical eliminations. By doing so, you hurt their respawn economy enough that it's going to give them the leg up, especially towards the later part of this round.
Yeah, you're speaking facts right now. I mean, that last round was important for Carnage to win, but it was also important for RushieZ to make Carnage use so many respawns. And now that RushieZ has won a few team fights already here in this round number 7, Carnage is hurting for respawns. They cannot respawn again if they get team wiped right here. They have to concede this round and put RushieZ at match point.
All right, well, here we go. It's going to be an interesting one. This is a round, in my opinion, Carnage should have no reason to take. But INZEM is going to take down Feint. He has respawns to give, so that's not the biggest loss for Carnage. The other ones now who are going down, they are the ones you don't want to lose. That's BGod. Great use of utility. That's going to force Carnage back, who was trying to push up, so now they're going to have to wait.
Yeah, but, I mean, as you said, Feint died. He was the only one who died there. He's one of the ones that are allowed to die and respawn, so good on the rest of Carnage staying alive. Now they're going to bring over their shock grenade and try to retake this neutral hill. Getting a break here is huge for Carnage. They still have a point lead. As you can see, they're up 1 point. They didn't get the break yet, so it is going to be RushieZ who retakes the lead. A new drop shot will be spawning. RushieZ is able to pick it up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Feint gets taken out. Once again, he can respawn if he chooses to, but if his team gets wiped here, which it looks like they are, I think Carnage concedes the round.
Yeah, Carnage needed to win that Streets fight. They needed to win that to go for the overextension and pressure and get the decap on F. I think the aggression would have worked there much more effectively, and the reason why is because of the fact RushieZ gets that drop shot. So I think the overextension would have been the play, but they ended up losing their lives. And now they're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble because RushieZ, yeah, they lost some respawns, but not to the effect of Carnage in that round. We've got 4 players from CG who are going to be on lives 2 out of 4. There's only 1 at 3 out of 4. And, you know, that gives them some extra padding to fight for the drop shot off the initial. But again, if they lose it, they're not going to be comfortable, nor are they going to be in a position to continue to trade, respawn after respawn after respawn. If I'm Carnage Gaming, I've got to use my disable here. I've got to match that of RushieZ. And, taking out the Ensign isn't a bad thing. Those Ensigns have been pretty devastating.
Yeah, I mean, this now kind of opens up the strategy if either of these teams do want to go for a quick pick and take that Lancer fire. They can get away with it because there's now no insta-gib ability coming out from the Incense. So we'll see. If it is going to be Carnage, it's going to be Absenz going for that quick pick. And no, he's going to play honest. He's going to go for that wide angle. We're seeing a very default strategy coming out from both teams. But you're right. I mean, the telltale for this final map has definitely been the economy coming out from Carnage. Even if they win this round, if they don't win it clean, they're going to be in a very tough spot in round 9. 100%.
100%. All right, Carnage, this is your moment to shine. And again, RushieZ, what are they doing? They're allowing Carnage to push up. They know the young guns are not going to take their time. They want to push in. Now, the benefit is, though, they don't have the instant to worry about with it being disabled. So now, BGod feels a bit more confident to get out. But look at the kills coming in. Shockwqve and Absenz losing their life. Avexys now pushing up to BGod. No, BGod missing a lot of shots. That was so worrisome because, hey, he's got the drop shot, but still, he can't get the finish.
Yeah, I mean, these are crucial kills for RushieZ, and BGod actually dies with a drop shot on his back. This might be RushieZ's first Emergence they win in this season. Carnage is going to have to pull a rabbit out of a hat. They're going to have to do something crazy here, a miracle, because they are now down to 1 respawn each. No drop shot to their disposal, but through sheer manpower, they're trying to push off the E-hill. Great shock grenade comes out from Rush. Carnage still can't get the break. It's going to be Absenz trying to get the break, but he's getting crossed from across the map. That's Avexys. That's an annoying angle he has, keeping him weak. Dsylexic going for a flank, and I think it's going to get called out right now. Dsylexic gets down in the middle of the map. Dsylexic, if he chooses to spawn, which he kind of has to, they're on match point. He's going to be on his final respawn.
Everything is looking great for RushieZ, man. everything is looking great for RushieZ. There is no reason why he loses, but a couple of big kills, so RushieZ will fall. Okay, but that's only one. There's still a lot of work to be done, and RushieZ has a considerable lead. Not only that, they also had the double almost set up for a considerable amount of time. But look at this. RushieZ is pushing into the spawn of Carnage, and because of that, Dsylexic is one of the victims. He dies off. BGod now on his last life, and so is Absenz. RushieZ is so close to victory. They're getting the break on E. Now, of course, the round will continue because Carnage will get their own home hill, but by no means are they thriving. They're just surviving at this point. And even now, they're not even. The Batista bomb comes in. And ladies and gentlemen, I know it's not over just yet.
It's over.
But RushieZ will take over, and it is over, like you said. RushieZ is going to be champions. They're going to be champions of week number 8, and it feels so good for them to finally take a victory because Ribs, they have had so many struggles in the past, but at least for tonight, all those struggles can be put to the wayside because they are champions.
I got to talk to Tom, man. Where's Tom now? I don't hear Tom saying nothing now. Where's Tom? No, I'm just kidding.
Tom can hear you. He can hear you. You gotta believe that.
Guys, I mean, it's GG's. I mean, it's another Emergence day in the books. But yeah, RushieZ getting their first win. That's big for them to get over the hump. As I said, a lot of these teams that have been struggling, it's only a matter of time before they come out on top. But still, Carnage, what a great showing they had today, taking out Pittsburgh Knights. That's a huge hump for them to get over, beating that team. Now, the only team that they have yet to beat is Vanquish, but RushieZ is going to come out on top. Congratulations to them, winning their first E-Day of the season.
Absolutely. So good job to them. Carnage Gaming, that's like their 3rd grand final appearance, but that's all they get. Second place seems to be where they're stuck. For RushieZ, though, hey, they finally make it through and they take the victory. Hey,